omega. La liga de la ciencia es alfa, es beta. La liga de la ciencia.
Último bloque en la Liga de la Ciencia y no sé si se acuerdan que Andrés tiene una habilidad, tiene una destreza, hace matemagia, hace cálculos mentales muy rápidos, es impresionante y hoy nos va a hablar un poquito más de eso, ¿no es verdad?
Sí, en realidad voy a presentar una entrevista que le hice al gran genio de la matemagia mundial, al gran genio del cálculo mental, se llama Arthur Benjamin. De él yo aprendí todo lo que sé y como estuvo en Buenos Aires aproveché para irlo a entrevistar, así que podemos ir directamente a ver la entrevista que le hice. Estoy acá con Arthur Benjamin, que es profesor del Harvey Mudd College en Los Ángeles, California, y es además un matemago. So Arthur, you have been performing your Matemagic show for years.
Yes.
What's your main motivation for doing that?
I've always loved magic and mathematics. I'm a professor of mathematics, and I just feel that I want more people to see how fun and beautiful and magical mathematics can be. A lot of people in the United States are not, and around the world, are afraid of math, and I'd like to show them that math can be fun.
Do you feel that you achieve this goal when you go to a school or to a place?
Absolutely. My goal is for the students to become, to change their attitude. I mean, it's not for them to see how smart I am, but rather how smart they can be. And it's very exciting when the mathematics starts to click, and it's very empowering.
But how did you create your show? Did you have someone that was like your main inspirator or something?
You know, I started doing traditional magic shows for children. You know, the rabbit out of the hat, you know, falling down on my face and making the kids laugh. And then I was interested in what's called magic of the mind. That is an area of magic called mentalism. And I then saw other people who would perform mentalism and demonstrations of powerful memory. And my dad said, well, why don't you put some of your math into the show? I developed the math as a hobby of my own. And he said, I think that would be even more impressive because it's genuine. So I did, and to my surprise, it got such a big reaction.
Is mental calculation a gift or anyone can learn it?
I believe it is a skill. I think everybody has a certain maybe ability to pick things up, but I think, and maybe they pick things up at a different rate, but the key ingredient is time and practice. You know, I mean, I'm not very musically inclined. I think it would take me a lot longer to learn how to play a new instrument than maybe you would. But but the key ingredient is time and practice. And if I practice, you know, twice as much as you do, in the long run, I will be better for it.
You have a suggestion that you think that will vastly improve the mathematical education?
Sure, there are a lot of suggestions. I think in the early years of math education, we should spend a little more time teaching mental math, because, you know, all the emphasis on pencil and paper math, people don't do much math on paper today. If they need the exact answer to a big problem, they pull out a calculator. But what you do often need is a good mental estimate of the answer, and to not be afraid of thinking of numbers. I think in the early years, we need to put more emphasis on estimation. In the more advanced years, in most high schools, at least in the United States, after they learn algebra, they spend all this effort trying to get kids to take calculus. And calculus it's a nice subject, and the laws of nature are written in the language of calculus. If you study science or engineering, you must learn calculus. But I think everybody else must learn statistics, probability and statistics. I think that is the way of the future. I think people talk all the time now about information and big data, and if you want to be able to harness that data to be able to make sense of it, then you need to have an understanding of numbers and risk and rewards and statistics.
Nice. And what are your preferred numbers?
My favorite numbers, my favorite group of numbers are called the Fibonacci numbers. And I've done a lot of my research in mathematics on Fibonacci numbers and related numbers. But let me explain them to you. They're as easy to understand as 1 plus 1. Now 1 plus 1 is 2. And now 1 plus 2 is 3. Then 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. See, we always add the consecutive numbers together. 5 plus 8 would be 13, and then 8 plus 13
21.
is 21, and so on. And they go on forever, but they are a laboratory of numbers that have all kinds of amazing mathematical properties. Other people enjoy those numbers because they also show up in nature a lot. Some people call the Fibonacci numbers nature's numbers. If you look at a flower, oftentimes the number of petals is a Fibonacci number. You'll see 3, 5, 8. You won't so often see 4 or 6 or 7. But if you look at a sunflower and you look at the spirals, and there are some spirals that go clockwise and some go counterclockwise, usually the number of spirals tends to be a Fibonacci number. And so a lot of people are intrigued by these numbers.
So Arthur, last question. What changes would you like to see in mathematics?
You know, I think for too many years, historically, mathematics has been dominated by men. And I think that we're seeing more and more women entering the mathematics profession, and I think that's great. I think we should do everything we can to encourage all people to become mathematically proficient, to be mathematics teachers, mathematics researchers, mathematics users. I mean, I have 2 daughters, and I want them to be as unafraid of mathematics, and because I think that's important.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, Arthur, for being with us. I hope you return soon to Buenos Aires, and we will be here waiting for you.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.